Welcome back, boys and girls. So, in chapter 9, we are reminded that the road to the eternal kingdom is not without its struggles. Kingsley finally made it to the wicket gate and was received warmly by Warmth. See what I did there? Anyway, Warmth fed him and encouraged him to continue his journey and to keep on trying, even when temptations, distractions, and trials press in on every side. He reminds him that God calls us to walk in faith and trust Him through it all. This chapter encourages us to endure with patience, leaning on the good King's promises when the path feels scary and dangerous. Each step of perseverance becomes a testimony of His strength at work within us, shaping us for what lies ahead. What will Kingsley learn next on his journey to the eternal kingdom? Join me for chapter 10 so we can find out together.
Journey to the Eternal Kingdom. A Young Christian's Pilgrimage. Chapter 10. Will Kingsley remember the instructions this time? In the morning, bright and early, Warmth woke Kingsley up, fed him a hearty breakfast, and packed some leftovers. He then took Kingsley to the back of the house. There, he pointed to a pathway leading from the gate at the back, which was hidden from the enemy's castle. Warmth advised Kingsley, who kept looking around in fearful anticipation of darts from the enemy, that he would be safe for a while once he got past the enemy's house. However, this was contingent on his keeping on the straight and narrow road ahead and not deviating from the path.
Sir, I hate to ask you any other favors since you have done so much for me already.
Kingsley began timidly, but he continued doggedly as he saw the smile of encouragement on Warmth's face.
But kind sir, is it possible for you to help me with this burden?
Ah, your burden, I see, is quite heavy. But unfortunately, I am not equipped to help you with that. This path will lead to the Mount of Liberation, and you will find relief from this burden.
Kingsley was surprised and reeling from the fact that Warmth saw his burden so clearly that he almost did not hear the instructions on how to get to the Mount of Liberation. What he did hear was that once he was there, the burden would fall off his back without any help from another person. It would fall off on its own accord. That was good news. He figured he would know when he got there because his burden would fall. All he had to do was remain on the straight and narrow pathway. Kingsley was eager to begin his journey, now that he was rested and encouraged that his burden would fall off sooner rather than later, he hoped. Before he started, Warmth gave Kingsley specific instructions. Along the path, he advised, Kingsley would come across a house where a man called Perception lived. Warmth told him that Perception would show him many things that would help make his journey and the object of his trip clearer.
He will show you wonderful things about the good king,
were Warmth's exact words, so the child set off, staying on the path pointed out and following Warmth's direction to the letter. He had traveled for a while and was sure he had somehow missed the house Warmth had told him about. However, shortly after thinking that, he saw an imposing house on his right, close to the pathway, and so he stepped off the path. Walking up to the door, he knocked loudly, this time not as timidly as he did at the wicket gate, while looking around to make sure none of the prince's soldiers were about to hassle him or throw arrows at him again. It seemed like forever until he heard footsteps on the other side of the door. By this time, Kingsley was wondering if he had missed the house and was at the wrong door. The door opened a crack, the security chain still fastened, hindering him from stepping inside. A voice asked,
"Who's there?"
Kingsley, feeling quite awkward, shifting from foot to foot, replied,
Good sir, I am a traveler on my way to the eternal kingdom. I was advised to stop here a while and that you would show me wonderful, excellent things about our good king.
"Who told you to stop here?"
the voice insisted.
I spent the night at Warmth's house, the man at the wicket gate. He sent me. He also told me that you have many things to tell me that would help me on my journey to the eternal kingdom. Things that can mean life or death.
Immediately the door swung open, and a gentleman, tall and stately, with a voice that seemed to echo in Kingsley's head, said,
"Well put, my dear child. If you learn these lessons well, it will save you many heartaches on your journey." Come in. Welcome.
He grabbed Kingsley into a bear hug.
My, you are no more than a child.
He exclaimed, in delight and dismay at the same time.
1 Timothy 4:12. Let no one look down on you because of your youth, but be an example and set a pattern for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity.
Kingsley quoted. He was becoming quite the Bible student.
Oh, so true. Come in. Welcome. As you have already begun your journey, I want to show you this picture first.
Turning down a long passageway, he walked a few steps and opened the first door on the right. As Kingsley stepped into the room, a larger-than-life-size picture hung on the right side, taking up the whole wall space. In the painting, he noticed a shepherd with the kindest, most lovely face he had ever seen. His eyes were cast down at the lot of feeble, sickly lambs at his feet, and his hands were outstretched as if caught in the act of blessing them. Across the way, in the shadows, Kingsley could see the outline of wolves at the edge of the forest. The sheep kept their eyes on the shepherd's face, confident they were safe with him. On the wall opposite was the same shepherd, with a look of care and love like Kingsley had never experienced in his 9 years. Not even his mother, who he knew loved him dearly when she was alive, ever looked at him like that. His heart thrilled, and he felt as if he was transported. He was the sick, tired lamb that lay on the shepherd's bosom. The shepherd's feet were cut and bleeding. As he looked closer, he saw the footprints behind the shepherd, which had bloodstains on them, leading away from a steep precipice that was now behind them. The good shepherd's face was tired but happy, and he was carrying the lamb away from danger. Kingsley did not realize that he had caught his breath once he stepped into the room until he read the writing under the second picture.
Isaiah 40:11. He tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs with his arm and carries them near his heart.
Tears were streaming down Kingsley's face, and he did not even care to wipe them off.
Who is this shepherd? And was the lamb lost?
Kingsley asked.
That great shepherd is the good king's son. See how his feet bleed, yet he is unmindful. His one concern is the welfare of the lamb. See how much the shepherd loves his sheep. He will suffer great harm to himself to save the lost sheep or lambs. Now imagine you are one of the lambs. This is how far the good shepherd will go to keep you safe from the wolves that may seek to devour you and lead you astray. I want you to think of this picture and how you felt when you first stepped into this room and saw the Good Shepherd. Feel those emotions again and understand that if you feel lost along this journey, the Great Shepherd will do whatever it takes to save you. But you always have to do your part as well.
With that being said, Perception turned from the room, saying,
Come, I have one more thing to show you before you take your leave of me.
They continued down the hallway and, at the end on the left side, entered another room. This time, it appeared as a home theater with a screen at the front. Perception invited Kingsley to take a seat. In the movie that was showing, two brothers lived in the same household, receiving the same training, love, and affection. It was lunchtime, and their mother called them in from playing outside. Kingsley sat down to view. In front of them, the mother placed their lunch.
Remember, my dear sons, eat only enough of this wholesome food to maintain your health and strength. Remember to practice temperance,
she said as she left the room. It seemed as if the boys were twins, because they looked a lot alike, except one was heavier in size than the other. Besides that, you could not tell them apart. The heavier-set one started to dig into the food without saying his blessings until his brother reminded him. He grudgingly stopped chewing long enough to listen to his brother's prayer, then immediately continued, placing food on his plate and stuffing his face simultaneously. The other brother put only what he could eat on his plate. As they sat conversing over lunch, the conversation turned to what they were playing outside before being called in.
I will ask again, Storm, that you allow me to work on fixing your broken hoverboard scooter before you throw it away. I am sure with just a bit of patience, I can find the problem and fix it.
If I did not love you so calm, I would always be vexed at the opposite character you have of me. Always so patient and obedient. Oh, all right, I will allow it. You can see if you can fix my hover scooter, but only if you allow me to play with yours.
Nodding his head in agreement, Calm smiled. As Kingsley continued watching their lives unfold, it was clear that one brother always showed kindness to the other and their other family members, while the other exhibited no patience, brotherly love, or kindness to anyone but himself. It was obvious that they were well trained, but only one of the twins chose to follow the training provided, and his character was markedly different from his brother's. Calm was polite and helpful to everyone. Meanwhile, Storm always wanted his way, was rude to his family members, and always seemed upset about something. As soon as his way was not given to him, there would be a lot of screams and tears. Then there was Calm, always showing brotherly love to his sometimes unlovable brother. At the end of the day, as the brothers lay in bed and their father came to tuck them in, he asked,
"Did you today, dear sons, practice 2 Peter 1:5 to 8? And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness love."
The father continued,
Based on the knowledge your mother and I try to impart daily, did you treat each other with kindness and practice temperance in all things, behaving like the good shepherd would to all creatures?
Storm immediately nodded his head vigorously, saying,
Yes.
Calm pondered the question, and looking sadly at his father, admitted that he did not always live up to the knowledge imparted to him and was deeply sorry. At this, the father clicked on the TV in their room, and instantly it began to replay the day and the decisions they had both made. As they watched, Storm kept sliding more and more under the covers as the scenes of the day played out before him. He saw that he did not play nicely with his brother, nor was he patient or did he extend brotherly love and kindness for most of the day. On Calm's side, it showed that he made a decided effort not to lose his cool when his brother was being unnecessarily mean to him or unwilling to share toys. He also exhibited temperance and did not overeat or willfully disobey his parents' requests. Kingsley turned and asked Perception,
Is this real?
Yes, this is called reality TV and the characters are real. But as you can see, Storm constantly chooses the wrong path, even though he has received the same training as Cam. He does not fight himself, who is his worst fierce enemy. I have shown you this, Kingsley, to help you see that every day we have to decide which master we will serve. The battle is not easy, but if we keep trying and never give up, putting forward our best effort, even when we are tired and weary like the lamb in the other room, the Good Shepherd will carry us until we are strong enough again. Don't be like Storm and give in to every passion, craving, and desire you have. That is the lesson you will take as you continue your pilgrimage journey.
Perception concluded, and turned and walked out of the room with the boy following closely on his heels, nodding his head and in his heart, determined to be more like Calm than Storm.